Hey, what's up, guys? Jag from Jaggy Sports here. May the 13th. Happy Friday the 13th. Yes, I do celebrate Friday the 13th, and I think it's a very happy day, so you guys should do the same thing. Instead of thinking what bad could happen, I need you guys to think what's good gonna happen. So instead of saying Friday the 13th is bad, let's start saying Friday the 13th is good, and good things are gonna happen. Can't say the same thing about the 76ers last night. I wish I could say something different. It just reminds me when I first started going full time with Jaggy Sports. A lot of Philadelphia 76ers fans gave me support and supported this channel, so I thank you. I really wanted the 76ers to succeed, just because of the fact that the whole Ben Simmons situation, I was pretty upset about that, because Ben Simmons left him hanging dry, and then the whole trade thing happened, and we all thought James Harden was going to be the James Harden of the past. However, if you guys caught that game last night, he shot one basket. He attempted one shot in the second half in 22 minutes. And Bomani Jones, I don't know if you guys know who Bomani Jones is. He's freaking hilarious. Very smart guy. He pretty much said this: they traded Ben Simmons for a guy who attempts one shot in an elimination game. And Joel Embiid pretty much said something really not good. I don't agree with Joel Embiid on this one. He shouldn't have said it to the media. He should have just kept it private, but he did. He basically said, I don't know who the James Harden of the Houston is anymore. I don't know if he exists. He's more of a playmaker, and we wanted him to be aggressive. You got guys like Stephen A. Smith saying Doc Rivers might get fired. I don't know the whole situation. And then if you guys caught that, the ending, when Jimmy Butler left the arena, not the arena, but the actual basketball court, they caught him saying Tobias Harris over me. So pretty much they're talking about they paid Tobias Harris instead of Jimmy Butler. So he obviously held a grudge. He obviously brought that into the series. And, embarrassing game for the 76ers last night. And, I feel bad for the city of Philadelphia. I feel bad for the fans. But, the upside thing is James Harden said he will try to stay in Philadelphia. And when somebody asked him about reducing his salary, he said taking less money and get some other player to sign in. He basically said, I'll do whatever it takes to win. So I don't know if we're going to buy that. I don't know what's going to happen in the off season. Doc Rivers, is he going to go? Tobias Harris, is he going to get traded? James Harden, is he going to actually opt in to his $40-something million, or is he gonna not opt in and become a unrestricted free agent to take less money and sign somebody like, I don't know, Bradley Beal? I heard there was rumblings since last year, and I keep hearing them. So I'm not starting rumors here, but I'm just hearing rumors, right? And they're from significant sources. So Bradley Beal might be on the way in the summer. I don't know. But for now, check this clip out from Stephen A. Smith and this first take. And yeah, it's a sad day in Philadelphia. Like I said, it's not always sunny in Philadelphia. And today's one of those days. It is sunny in Philadelphia most of the time, but, not last night and not today. So this is Jag Manga at Jaggy Sports. Make sure you leave a comment in the comment section and tell me what you think. Is James Harden gonna sign for less and bring in another all-star star? What's going to happen? Tell me, is Doc Rivers going to get fired? Is Tobias Harris going to get traded? Something's got to happen, right? Like, Philadelphia is a great organization. 76ers is a great organization. Philadelphia, a great city. I hate to see them go out like this. I really hoped that they would make something out of this season and progress to the finals. But, you know, Joel Embiid played his butt off. Sorry, I was about to say ass, but played his butt off. Orbital fracture, concussion, ligament damage, you name it, right? And he played all through that. And, you know, as tough as Philadelphia is, he represents that city completely. And I just feel bad. I feel really bad for the Philadelphia 76ers fans. I feel bad for the city. I just hope that good things happen in Philadelphia. Leave a comment in the comment section. Tell me what you guys are gonna tell me what you guys think. What's gonna happen in the off season? And yeah, just a sad day in Philadelphia. Jag from Jaggy Sports.
This was one of the most atrocious performances by a star in NBA playoff history. One of the things that's hard about sitting in this chair and tackling these subjects, you see, because you make enemies. And why do you make enemies? It ain't for talking about their personal life. I don't do that. It ain't for getting into stuff that's off the court. If you ain't in the police blotters or you ain't making headlines and stuff that everybody knows, I ain't got nothing to say. I'm talking about your game, the game that you put on display for millions of people watching on the tube and thousands of people in attendance. And because you say what you saw with your own two eyes, people will hate on you because they're more concerned with their brand than reality. But I don't give a damn. I'm going to say it anyway. James Harden was so bad last night, it almost looked like he did it on purpose. 2 shots. Kendrick Perkins, I was just on with this man on Get Up a little bit earlier, man, and I'll say it to you again. On crutches, on one leg, James Harden could get more than 2 shots off in an NBA game. I don't give a damn how much slippage he has. You can attempt more than 2 shots. I don't want to hear anything about Doc Rivers. I know because I've spoken to numerous people. Plays were called for James Harden, okay? James Harden was the point guard, had the ball in his hands. James Harden had ample opportunity, motivation from the standpoint that Jimmy Butler was giving it to everybody, averaging 27, 7, and 5 for the series on better than 50% shooting. And then on top of it all, you had Joel Embiid, poor Joel Embiid, cracked bone in his face, messed up thumb, like you said the other day, still hasn't fully recovered from his knee injury, but out there trying. Tyrese Maxey crying in the locker room post-game because it meant so much to him. He out there playing his heart out. And James Harden did literally nothing in 22 minutes and 52 seconds. So when you look at it from that standpoint, there is no way around this. I smell something. It was so bad, I thought it was almost intentional. And I'm watching, and I'm going to watch Daryl Morey like a fine-tooth comb. I'm going to watch the Philadelphia 76ers with all I have because I want to see what they're going to do in the days and the next couple of weeks or so. Because let me tell you something, I'm looking for a coaching change. They're going to blame Doc Rivers for this. They're going to scapegoat Doc Rivers for this. Because remember, James Harden, in the post-game last night, when asked about Doc Rivers, he said, next question. Next question. Didn't give him a vote of confidence, didn't do anything. We all know what that means. That means you don't necessarily want to play for that coach. And you pointing the finger at Doc Rivers and what have you. Doc Rivers, yes, do I think he did a good job? You're damn right considering the circumstances. Great job? No, because you didn't end up winning the championship. But should he deserve blame for this? Hell no. But he gonna get it because he's not the coach that Daryl Morey selected. Daryl Morey came after him. And obviously, Daryl Morey had his sights set on James Harden. And it is what it is, guys. It was a bad performance. There is no way around it. And as far as I'm concerned, it was so bad, it looked, I'm not saying it is because I don't know, it looked deliberate, Stat.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think it did look intentional, right? Because it seems like James doesn't want Doc as a head coach. And he has history of, like, if he doesn't like something, he will shut down. And we saw last night that he shut down, and then the comments of saying, you know, next question in the post-game interview lets me know that he doesn't really agree with Doc being the head coach there, and so he shut down on this perk. And I think the ideal of it is that if that's the case, right, and you change coaches and you bring in Mike D'Antoni, what does that mean for Joel Embiid?
Go ahead, big boy.
You know what? I'm going to say this. I don't blame some of it. I don't blame part of it. I blame all of it on James Harden, right? Are we starting to see the pattern right now? Like, we go back to the Rockets days, okay? He get into it with Dwight Howard. Him and Dwight Howard don't see eye to eye. Dwight Howard out of there. All of a sudden, CP3 come in. Him and CP3 don't see eye to eye. CP3 out of there. Okay, Russ get there, Russ out of there. All of a sudden, he want out. He don't show up to training camp, and when he do come in, he's out of shape, force his way to Brooklyn. All of a sudden, he gets to Brooklyn with his guy, Kevin Durant, a guy that them two hadn't been talking in years because James Harden wanted KD to come to Houston when the KD decided to go to Golden State.
Yes.
Okay, so KD says, you know what? Come join this. Let's make a run at it now. Gives up Karis LeVert and Jared Allen, who they can use, by the way. And all of a sudden, James Harden bounced on Kevin Durant. Forget the Kyrie Irving situation. It's a pattern going, right? And all of a sudden, you get to Philly. All of a sudden, you get to Philly. And now, all of a sudden, you quit. You quit on Doc Rivers. You quit. 2 shots, you quit. You quit. Why? Because you want things to go James Harden way. And we're talking about a guy that's a top 75 greatest player of all time.
Right.
He need to turn in his
Wait,
damn
I just have to
jacket.
say one thing. We're saying he quit. We're saying this was intentional to blow a trip potentially to go to the Eastern Conference Finals. Like we're certain about this because
I feel that way because I didn't see this. This is a pattern, Molly. Sooner or later, if a person show you who they are, we have to believe them. Okay, and every single time, you don't just disappear like this and not be aggressive. You had the ball in your hands all the time.
Molly, let me explain. Let me elaborate on what Kendrick Perkins is saying just to crystallize this. When you are an offensive player, see, he was a defender and a rebounder and an enforcer. He was a scorer.
Yeah.
How long you been out of the league?
5 years or so.
Right now, if you walked onto the basketball court with 0 training, could you take more than 2 shots and a half?
Absolutely.
Without question.
Yeah.
The point that we're making is we're not talking about you shot 4 for 30.
Yeah.
We're not talking about you scored 11 points. We're not even talking about the 22 minutes and 52 seconds you played in the second half. What we're saying is you had the ball in your hands. For you not to attempt but 2 shots is incredibly obvious and deliberate. There is no defense on the planet that could prevent an offensive player from attempting 2 shots while they're on the court with the ball in their hands.
Yeah.
You could jack up a shot, Molly. I mean, it's like somebody that gets into the ring with Mike Tyson. You might get knocked out, but you trying to tell me you can't run for 20 seconds?